Hi, I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to be discussing EDI within the health and social care setting. EDI stands for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. Now I'm going to be basing my discussion around one of the 9 protective characteristics, which is disability. Now, what is a disability, you're thinking? Well, a disability, according to County Hall 2014, is a term that refers to an individual who has a physical or mental impairment, meaning the ability to carry out any day-to-day tasks may be difficult for the individual. Disability is one of the 9 protective characteristics that is protected by law, but it is also protected by the Equality Act 2010, and the legislation states that disabled people are not allowed to be discriminated against or harassed based on physical or mental impairments. According to the Care Learning 2014, equality provides equal opportunities for all individuals while also maintaining fair treatment throughout. Equality helps recognise that all individuals have different needs, so by helping recognise that everyone's needs are different, it ensures that everyone has the same opportunity to reach similar goals in life. The Equality Act 2010 is a legislation used within a health and social care settings that helps support equality within the workplace. County Hall 2014 also highlights to us how reasonable adjustments should be made by an employer for those who have a disability, whether it be physical or mental. An example of a physical reasonable adjustment for someone who uses a wheelchair could be by maintaining that lifts and ramps are more accessible within a service, ensuring that this eliminates all barriers for the affected individual. Care Learning 2024 also helps us to understand inclusion within a health and social care setting. Inclusion ensures all individuals feel valued and accepted within a service. Feeling included helps eliminate exclusion within a health and social care setting. There are many key aspects to inclusion. These are respect, value, accessibility, empowerment and participation. Inclusion is supported by the Equality Act 2010, Human Rights Act 1998 and the Care Act 2014 within a health and social care setting. According to Gorby and Habia 2023, diversity suggests how everyone is different and all differences should be recognised by everyone in the health and social care setting. Diversity helps highlight everyone's differences, which can vary from ethnicity, culture, faith, gender, sexuality. Diversity is important in a health and social care setting as everyone is entitled to decent medical care and treatment without facing any form of discrimination based on your differences from another individual. Group B 2022 highlights to us that diversity is supported by the Equality Act 2010. According to ACAS 2024, discrimination laws are important to all individuals as it protects everyone who falls under the 9 protective characteristics from any form of discrimination or harassment. The term discrimination means treating someone less favourably than someone else. By treating someone less favourably, it can cause disadvantages to the individuals with protective characteristics. By putting someone at a disadvantage, it can cause individual stress, leading to exclusion from opportunities or benefits in life. The Equality Act 2010 is a legislation that supports equality, diversity and inclusion within health and social care. The Government Equalities Office 2022 suggests that 9 protective characteristics are prohibited against any form of discrimination. One of the characteristics is disability, and with Section 6 of the Equality Act 2010, it states that disability can come from a variety of impairments, whether that be sensory, developmental, mental health, progressive, such as forms of dementia or neuron diseases, and learning difficulties. The Government Equalities Office 2022 highlights how discrimination surrounding disability protects the individual who suffers with an impairment, but it also protects an individual who associates with someone who presents with a disability. According to Lewis Phillip 2020, the Disability Discrimination Act 1995 was one of the first legislations to come to the UK law that protected those with a disability from any form of discrimination. In the early 70s, racial and sex-related discrimination was legally protected from discrimination. However, disability lacked any form of protection within the law as we were very uneducated around disabilities. After several protests by the members of the public in 1995, it was finally recognised by Parliament, and the DDA 1995 Disability Discrimination Act 1995 provided protection for individuals who fall under the disability characteristic from discrimination within employment, education, or the provision of goods and transport. Lewis Phillip 2020 also highlights the different forms of discrimination. There is direct discrimination. This is where an individual who is deemed to have having a disability is being treated less favourably purely down to their disability. Then victimisation is where a person is treated less favourably because they have made a complaint about their treatment as a disabled individual. Finally, we have failure to make reasonable adjustment. This is where an employee or an individual puts a person who is disabled at a disadvantage. Well, what is a human right? A human right is according to the Equality and Human Rights Commission 2019, human rights are basic rights and freedom to all individuals regardless of how you choose to live your life or where you are from. A human right can never be taken away from an individual, however they can be restricted due to certain circumstances, for example if a person breaks the law, deeming they would then be put into prison. Human rights are based upon values like dignity, equality, respect, which is protected and defined by law. The Disability Justice 2023 helps us to understand that it took many years for disabled individuals to feel heard, and the Human Rights Act 1998 offers a useful framework for the affected individuals to describe the challenging injustice faced by the Human Rights Act. Not by the Human Rights Act. The Human Rights Act helps prevent discrimination for individuals that are deemed to have a disability by surrounding its focus on dignity and everyday experiences rather than actually the support needed. Human rights help fight against barriers that are presented in society that stop enabling a person with a disability from not having equal opportunities. Discrimination can have consequences on everyone who is faced with discrimination. Self-fulfilling prophecy. What is it and what are its consequences? Well, according to Albers 2022, self-fulfilling prophecy is where a prediction made fulfills the prediction. So that basically means where you are predicting, I don't know. I'm just going to continue. One of the simplest examples of self-fulfilling prophecy is made by when you wake up. One of the simplest examples. Oh, no, I've just got so far. Let me just have a pause. Okay. So according to Albers 2022, an example of self-fulfilling prophecy is the easiest example to give is when you wake up and you have a gut feeling that the day is going to be bad. Then you stub your toe getting out of bed. And from that point, the bad day has started and you are in a bad mood for the rest of the day. The negative emotions that you have during that day can lead to harmful outcomes for others. Self-fulfilling prophecy can lead to worsening diagnosis or the ability to undergo day-to-day activities. By having low expectations of an individual based off their disability will often limit the affected individuals' opportunities and limit personal development compared to others. According to Robertson 2024, 3 in 4 people with a disability have experienced negative attitudes and behaviours within the last 5 years. These behaviours include making assumptions about their ability and accusing one of faking their disability. 1 in 6 of the global population is deemed to be disabled, and only 10% of disabled employees found it easy to receive reasonable adjustments within a workplace, meaning that 90% of employees find it difficult to have access or to ask for reasonable adjustments to be made within their workplace. According to Bradley, May and McCoy 2011, the postcode lottery in healthcare highlighted the differences between healthcare access depending on the geographical area. Following research done by May 2024, it has been found that there are black holes across the UK. There are black holes across the UK and certain individuals don't have access to the equipment and services as others do. Causes of discrimination can be many of things. Unconscious bias is a term that is used when an individual makes a quick judgments to assess and assessments they are influenced. Quick judgments and assessments. They are actually influenced by our personal experiences. Unconscious bias can have a significant impact on attitudes and behaviours towards other individuals. It can have a big impact on key decisions within a workplace, according to Imperial College London 2024. Unconscious bias includes when an individual thinking better of someone as they feel they have the same qualities or are alike, or thinking less favourably of someone because their person is different from them. An example could be a manager ignores a female employee but accepts and implements the idea from a male employee. Everyone can be biased without even realising. The study has shown that since the Paralympics in 2012, unconscious bias against disabled people has risen by actually 8%. Research has shown that unconscious bias is the highest surrounding disability. Some of the key issues surrounding disabled people in the workplace are continuing myths and anxieties around employees and HR. There's still a shortage of disabled role models within workplaces, according to Able Magazine 2024. By promoting inclusive practice in a healthcare environment for those with disabilities, it can help provide those with disability the same opportunity as everyone else does have in society. 19% of adults working in the UK are disabled, and that had increased by 52% from previous years, according to Ben 2024. The importance of community inclusion for those who have a disability helps improve the health and well-being of individuals. One of the most vulnerable groups are adults with disabilities with cognitive impairments. Many of those individuals who suffer with cognitive impairments Many of the individuals that suffer with a cognitive impairment. So by offering more speech and language and pathology and services to adults, it can help improve the well-being of those with an impairment. This finding was made by Joanna Douglas and Bigby and Lack in 2009. Overall, we can see that inclusive practice for those with disability is improving slightly throughout health and social care, but there are still plenty of room for improvements with more education and knowledge to be offered. Thank you.